Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes, the weekend edition, Sunday the 19th of December, and as I suppose we're getting close to the end of the year, some of the stocks here are ones that have done well over the last 12 months or so. First one is ADBFM, where we've got that rising trend channel from summer of 2020. The top of the channel currently heading towards £1.40, which would be very nice, and that's valid while we hold above at least the 200-day moving average area around the low 60s, so 60, 61 pence on a weekly close basis. Ideally, we stay above the floor of the rising trend channel from last year. That's around the 70 pence area, but with these things, you've got to normally allow a bit of wiggle room, so down to 60 ahead of a potential 140 over the next 2 to 3 months. One of the stocks which has some speculation building by the day, perhaps, is Audioboom, podcast expert. Here we've got what's been a quite steady rising price for the shares since the start of the year. And what's interesting now is that I suppose we've got to the top of that that channel that I've drawn from back in June. So that was let's say up towards the £12.50, £12.60 area. But the good news is that a decent close above that £12.60 area could actually take the shares up to a new leg at the top of that channel there from the beginning of the year, as high as £15. So I think the trigger point there around 12.60 and above that, breaking that June resistance line up to £15, perhaps as soon as the end of next month or going into February. So that should kick off reasonably well. On to a newcomer, which has been one of the happier IPOs of the recent past, Ben's Creek. And here, not much of a sort of charting data to go on, but the best call at the moment is that we're in a rising trend channel from October. Top of the channel heading towards 50 pence, maybe over the next couple of months, something like that. For the channel, currently around what to call that, 30 pence. Stop loss back below the 50-day moving average at 25. So again, allowing for wiggle room above 25, looking for 50, and ideally we stay above 30, heading for that 50 level over the next couple of months. Cyanocode was one of the better stocks of the year in 2021. Beautiful move there that we had, I suppose, particularly since the middle of the year, but interesting that you have those sort of gaps of support, which we had quite a few of those actually. One in April, one in July, or beginning of August, and then again in October. So interesting price action there at the moment. What we can probably say is above the old October peak, around 18 pence. We're looking towards 30 pence, which is that April 2020 resistance line projection that might be seen by the end of next month. Moving along to a stock which I interviewed once after a sort of 3 or 4 year break, I think. It used to be FairFX, now it's Equals Group. Here we've got this rising trend channel from back in the middle of last year. The initial target here up towards 77 pence, which would be nice after the gap through the 50-day line at 63. Better target, though, maybe over the next 2 to 3 months, as high as 87 pence at that April resistance line projection. So main thing for Equals is that we hold above the floor of the recent gap, around 63 pence. The upside will remain open while that is the case. One of the less high-profile winners of the year has been Equals, a sort of slow, it's been eTherapeutics, a rather slow grind higher. But it does look quite encouraging here. We've got a line of resistance there from December. Even if you make it slightly more shallow, it looks like we're heading towards 65 pence over the next 2 to 3 months, while we hold above the floor of the channel and the 50-day moving average at 39 pence. The other plus point here is the way that the 50 and 200-day moving averages are now rising parallel, which is normally a decent source of momentum. Massive winner this year was Kistos, and those lucky to get in at a pound, which was obviously a bit of a gift at the start of, I suppose that was November last year. Had a almost continuously smooth ride. Even the suspension was not very long there, March, April. And current situation is we've just broken that line of resistance from October. Literally did that on Friday, around £3.76. Above that, looking for a new leg to the upside. That could be up towards 5.50 or even £6 over the next 2 to 3 months. So a lot to shoot for, even if you're not quite as positive as that line may suggest. £5 looks to be fairly well baked in terms of the upside, given how consistent the rally here has been. Stop loss, if you're very fussy, back below the 50-day moving average at 366, but this looks like it's just breaking out for a new leg to the upside. Moving along to MySelx, which is a rather irritating name, but MYX is the ticker code here. We had particularly a sort of vertical move from October, the beginning of October, after a minor bear trap below 35. Current situation is probably we're waiting for a consolidation above the 50-day moving average at 65 pence, but above that, big picture target maybe over the next 2 to 3 months as high as £1.20 for MySelx Technologies. So reasonable risk reward in terms of above the low 60s. The shares could double. Just a few to go now. First is Serica. And here it took a while for the stock to really take off. The big move, I suppose, happened back in June with a gap to the upside, which is typically gap to the upside through resistance, which is sort of typical type of thing to happen. Since then, we've got a rising trend channel, and that in the near term is heading towards, I suppose, the £3 area, something like that. Yes, in fact, £3.05, £3.10. Got a wider trend channel there, which also is heading for the same area, which is decent confirmation of the upside here for Serica. Probably the stop loss at this point just back below £2.40, which was old resistance in the autumn, and has now become new support. So just below £2.40, and above that, looking for £3 to £3.20 maybe as a best case scenario. One of the latest stocks to jump higher, which it's done in quite a spectacular fashion after a bit of sort of jiggery-pokery in the meantime, rather rocky ride, let's say, but above 14 pence. Looking for a T42 to head higher, possibly at least up to the 22, 23 pence area initially, and possibly much more if we can get that in the next, well, maybe by the end of this month. So above 24 by the end of this month, we could be heading towards a trend line heading towards the mid-30s, which is one from October last year. So the current view is above 14, up to 24, and then up to as high as 34 over the near term. Finish off with Zephyr, which has not only frequently updated the market, but done it in a very positive way. Here, a bit messy in terms of the near-term price action, so just trying to work out exactly where the floor of the channel is, but looks like the overall picture here above 6 pence, we are in very much in bull mode, and if we can stay above 6 pence, then maybe over the first quarter of 2022 we can head up towards that January 2021 resistance line projection as high as 12 pence. So above 6, looking for 12, maybe by the end of March, something like that. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.